Today we are going to build an AI agent, and don't think it even is like some AI bot or something, but just like a personal assistant. Like just think it like a human, right? Who's going to review, score, and shortlist resumes. So Sayali, what you mentioned, sourcing, this is exactly the problem we are going to solve here. But this time we are going to source resumes from your email. So as a recruiter, you may receive, say, 500 emails a day, and some of them as resumes, people saying, oh, I want to apply to data scientist job role that you just posted. And you need to go through every email, download that resume, go through that resume and see which one is the right fit. The
Mhm.
same process can be applied to the problem that you mentioned, that instead of pulling those resumes from your email, you can pull those resumes from Indeed or any other job board. Okay. So just
Mhm.
source would change from email to Indeed, Glassdoor, whatever platform you want to. Okay. But after that, so I'm going to show you that we'll build an agent that will monitor your email 24/7.
Mhm.
Every time it receives an email with a resume attached there, it will pull that resume. It will evaluate that resume exactly based on the criteria that you mentioned, you define. And then it is going to provide a score to each resume, and it will put into a Google Sheet or any of the database that you usually use. Okay. So just think it in a manner, every day you're not going to your email, not opening it, not downloading resume, not going through each resume. You'll simply look a Google Sheet with candidate detail and their resume score, and you can literally talk to top five resume or two resume, whatever you want. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, that sounds helpful. Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we start building that uh, AI agent, before we start building that AI agent, let me explain you a little bit about how AI agents work, or all these LLM and this agentic AI things that you have been hearing, and how future is gonna have more AI agents compared to number of human beings on the planet, right? How does the baseline function works so that you'll be able to understand it and create any kind of AI agents in future by yourself. Because Molly's, your day-to-day requirement could be different from Sayali. And Sayali, you could come up with a new problem statement, and you don't need Aditya every single time to create an AI agent for you, and you can create it by yourself just spending an hour.
Mm.
Okay. So let me explain you how an AI agent works. So just think it that it's just like a human with no emotion and doing work at 100x more speed. And every agent that we are going to build or you're going to build in the future, it has two major components. It has a brain, and it has something where it receives instructions. Okay. So whenever you give an input to this agent, an input can be, these are 50 resumes, evaluate them and tell me what are the top five resumes according to my instructions. So all those resumes will be the input, and whatever instruction that evaluate these resumes on these four criteria, that will be the instruction. Now this agent need to remember. Okay. So every agent requires a memory if you want them to use prior memory for future evaluation. Okay. So it would require a memory, and it would require some kind of tool. So for example, you want this agent to evaluate resume and send them an email as well that, hey, I want to invite you for an interview. That's where it would require some tool. Okay. So an agent would require a memory, it would require a system prompt, it would require a tool. And then based on that, it will give you output, and output will be that out of these 500 resumes, this is the scoring of each resume, and these are the top five resumes. Okay. So this is the baseline structure of most of the agents. Now, in this particular use case that we are going to create, as I said, we are going to provide n number of resumes, and it will see and a job description or your criteria. It is going to process, and it will give you the scoring for each and every one of those. Okay. Any question until this point?
No, I'm good.
All good? Okay, perfect. Da-da-da. So As I said, there is no coding experience required to build this, and the platform that we are going to use is n8n.io. It is just a platform to create this automation without any coding experience required. Again, I'm not connected with n8n. There are many other platforms like n8n, like make.com and many others, right? It's just one of those platforms, but they are doing really, really good for a number of technical reasons as well as cost. Yes, Molly.
Would that be similar to like a Chat GPT website type of thing?
Sorry, Molly, can you repeat your question again? I missed it.
Oh, would that be similar? Sorry, my dog's here as well. She's talking up a storm. Would that be similar to like the Chat GPT website, this N8N?
Yes, we are going to use the Chat GPT as well.
Okay, so it's different then?
So n8n is a platform to create a workflow automation, and to add a brain to our workflow, we are going to use ChatGPT API, if that makes sense.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let me explain here. Okay, so you'll understand. So to create this workflow automation, we are going to use this platform. Now, when we create an automation, you need to host it somewhere. Okay, now again, if you don't come from technical background, you didn't need to worry about it, but you can directly host it on n8n platform by default. But if you want to host on other platform, if you have like any other server, you can host it on any other server like Hetzner or GoDaddy, but you don't need to think about that too much right now. And every workflow automation requires a brain to do the evaluation. And that's where we are going to use ChatGPT or OpenAI API, but you can use other like Google Gemini or any other large language models. OpenAI, it's easiest to use. Okay. Now let's jump into this directly on how we are going to build it right from scratch and what it's going to look like. Okay. So at the end, we are going to build something like this. Okay. And let me show you one more thing. So I'll delete this record for now. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look at the end. Okay. So we have used a real world example of High Counselor. So recently at High Counselor, we did a lot of hiring internally for our data scientist role. And let me show you our hiring inbox. So this is the email hire@highcounselor.com for our internal hiring. And we received a lot of resumes, and we have our own way to evaluate candidates where we ask them to provide a behavioral overview and answer of certain questions, right? But we received a lot of resumes, and it was pain to go through all those resumes and evaluate them. Okay, so we're like, okay, let's automate it. So we built this workflow, which actually keep an eye on this email, hire@highcounselor.com. Every time a candidate sends a resume, it extract that resume from that Gmail, extract content of that resume. Then this AI agent evaluate that resume on the prompt that we have given to this. Okay. I'll show you the prompt. And basically we have given a prompt that, hey, this is a resume for a data scientist role. Evaluate this resume on 4 criterias. Give a score. So we have given a prompt like that, evaluate this resume on 4 different criterias, which is how many relevant based on like what is the relevant work experience this candidate has, what are the skills this candidate has for data science role, what are the relevant projects candidate has done, and what is the relevant education. And for each of the category, give candidate score out of 2.5 and eventually give me a total as well. Okay, so every time, so when we receive an email, this workflow runs, can you see? And we get a score like this in our system. If you can see, it says that, okay, a candidate named Harshil Jain, whose email is this, has a relevant work experience score 0 out of 2.5, skill 0. relevant projects are not there, but his education is relevant. Maybe he is a fresher candidate, and then the total score comes as 2.5 as a score of this. Does it make sense to both of you?
It does, yes.
Okay. Now you can change this evaluation criteria as per your needs. Okay. And you simply need to change the system prompt over here. Let me show you how the system prompt appear over here at the moment. So I'll probably open a Word document, show you. Okay. And this is a simple system prompt that you can define for your candidate. So in this one, I've said that evaluate this resume for a data scientist role based on the below criteria. And my criteria is first, the candidate must have at least 3 years of work experience in data scientist role. My second criteria is that their skills should include machine learning, Python, SQL, or data science related skill. Third criteria is that they should have worked on a data science related project during those 3 years of work experience. And finally, they need to have a bachelor's, master's, or PhD in a data science or computer science related domain. Assign score of out of 2.5 for each criteria and provide a total score out of 10. Okay. And I want my output in this particular format. I want name of each candidate, email ID of each candidate, work experience score out of 2.5, skill score out of 2.5, relevant project, education out, and then give me a total score out of 10. Now you can change it whatever your requirement is for the resumes that you receive for whatever the job role you're evaluating. Okay. Now let's build this right from scratch, this end-to-end workflow. Okay, so that you actually understand it, and after this session, you can watch recording and build it for yourself as well. And if you get stuck, just let us know, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Aditya, sorry, quick question before you move on to next steps.
Mhm.
The prompts that you gave, first, second, third, are these in order of importance or just a list of prompts that you've put together?
So the prompts given here,
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter. Here,
Okay.
basically, I'm telling that evaluate on the basis of work experience, skills, relevant projects, and education.
Okay.
So
So these
you
are just the skills that you want to be evaluated.
exactly.
Okay.
But
Is
what
there a
matters
way
is
to rank them?
yes. But what
Okay.
matters is that provide me the output in the following format. This
Okay.
part is important because
Okay.
here, if I'm not defining the specific format, ChatGPT will use its mind and will give me in any format.
Okay.
And we won't get anything in a structured manner at the end. So you just need to define it however you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's where just mention at the end that, hey, provide me the output in this particular specific format. And then you'll
Okay.
get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Molly, any questions that you may have?
Yes, I put my question in the chat. I think I'm having some feedback issues, but I was curious how we're letting the candidates know the feedback and statuses if we haven't actually seen the resume.
That you have actually seen their resume. So you can simply, as I showed you, right? So here we are creating a workflow that puts score of each candidate in this sheet. Okay. You can add one more step over here. Can you see tool? You can add another step where you can just use the Gmail tool and create a step that send an email to candidate with score below 8 saying that, hey, I've reviewed your resume and I don't think you're a right fit. Or candidate with score between 8 to 10 is, I've reviewed your resume and I would like to invite you for an interview call, and this is my calendar link.
Okay, thank you.
The tool basically helps you to take an action. Okay. In this one, I'm not taking any action. That's why I have not added a tool here. But this tool can help you send them an email. If you want to send them a message on LinkedIn, everything can be done from here. Okay. So let's start building this workflow end to end. Okay. So all you need to do is simply go to a website called n8n. One second, just to show you n8n.io. Go to this website n8n.io. Simply sign up as you sign up anywhere, and then you will get your own environment, something like this. In that environment, when you click on overview, there is an option here called create workflow. I've already created a lot of workflows, which I can see over here, but as you're starting from scratch, so click on create workflow and you'll get your open space. Okay. I will open a workflow that I've already created over here so that you can visualize how we are going to start from finish to end. Okay. So the first step is adding a Gmail trigger. So click on this plus button, search for Gmail. So our trigger point is every time you receive an email, that's a trigger point when this workflow will start. And Sayali, you can also create it for your Indeed, that every time a new candidate apply to my LinkedIn post, this workflow will trigger and it will evaluate all the candidates there. Okay.
Oh.
So the workflow trigger is so Gmail on message received, simply click on it. And when you click on it, it will ask you for some details. Now, the number one thing is you need to integrate your Gmail account. Okay. If you are like, if you're reading it from your Gmail. Now, to integrate your Gmail account for the first time, click on create new credentials. Now, this one is a little bit technical, not technical, but it has a few steps, okay, to remember. Has any one of you used Gmail API in the past?
No.
No. So I'll simply show you, so I'll simply show you the process and you can simply copy paste by seeing this recording. Okay. There is so here is how you can do. Simply search on Google Cloud Console. So basically, Google Cloud Console provide you an ability to integrate your Gmail API with any platform, Gmail account with any platform. So go to Google Cloud Console and suppose I'm going to use one of my Gmail as adityaduke23@gmail.com. Okay, this is my Gmail account, suppose. Click on this three icon on the left hand side, go to APIs and services, click on enable APIs. And then right over here, click on enable APIs and services. Click on Gmail API. Click on Gmail API over here and this is already enabled. Let me search for an account that I've never used in the past, so that I can actually show you. So I'll probably use, I think I've not used on this one. So I want to show you a process right from the scratch. Okay, yeah, this is perfect one. So simply search Google Cloud Console for the first time. Go to Google Cloud Console. Let me see, I'm on aditya.sharma. Okay. So when you log into Google Cloud Console for the first time, you land over here, click on these three icons, go to API and services on the left-hand side, click on enable APIs and services. And then over here, you need to click on create project for the first time. Here, give name of the project, we'll name it, say, what will name? Evaluate resume agent. And then click on create. It will take about 20-30 seconds to create a project for the first time. Okay. Then click on enable API and services right at the top over here. And search for Gmail API because we need to integrate our Gmail. Click on Gmail API, click on enable. And this process will enable your Gmail API for this particular tool. Now it is enabled. So go to credentials and you need to click on configure consent screen. And again, you can simply copy paste the entire step. It's same for everyone. Click on get started. Just give the name here is resume evaluate agent. Support email, you can simply put in your email ID. Audience, contact information, again, your email ID. It really doesn't matter, whatever you put. Click on next, continue, finish, and I agree to the terms and condition, continue and create. Okay, so you are basically creating the consent screen. And now you need to create the OAuth authorization. It is nothing but when you integrate your Gmail API to any tool, there is an authorization that you have to give to Google. Click on application type, web application. Again, give the name of the application, evaluate resume agent. And now on this screen, you need to give the redirect URL. So when we come to this, when we come to this N8N, there is an OAuth redirect URL. Simply copy this and paste it over here. Redirect URL, paste it, create. Okay, and this will give you a client ID that you need to copy. Go back to N8N and paste the client ID over here and the client secret key over here. What I'm saying in simple terms, we are basically giving our access of our Gmail account to this entire workflow. Okay. And then we click on OK. And one last step that you need to do over here is go to audience, click on add user under test user and enter the email ID that you want to integrate. So aditya.sharma@highcounselor.com, click on save and click on publish app over here. Okay, click confirm. So these are some of the steps that you need to do to integrate your Gmail once, only once. Okay. Now you're all ready. Simply come and here on N8N screen, it says sign in with Google. And here I'll enter my login to my Gmail that I want to integrate and simply says allow, see and edit your email, make sure that you're providing all the permissions and allow. Connection successful. This integrate your Gmail account to this particular workflow. Okay. Did you find it overwhelming?
Little bit, yeah, Aditya, but you will be sharing the recording, right? Because I think
you don't need to understand the details of it. Just simply go boom, boom, boom.
I'll
boom.
need it step by step to when
Yes.
I'm actually doing the integration.
Exactly. Okay. So that's what you've done. And then click now just to test that if it is working and what type of output it is giving, click on fetch test event. It will do this. And here you can see why we have done this is, so it is giving you the output over here. Okay, so that's why we've, otherwise if it was not connected, it won't give you any output. So that's what we have done. And here we can make some configuration like how frequently you want this to check your email. If you say every hour in the very first minute, okay, and every time it receives a message, then check it. And if we also want to include, say, every time it sees an unread email, then only check it. Okay, so you'll say read status as unread and click on add more filter. We also want to read only email that has an attachment because we are looking for resume. So simply insert one as attachment. Okay. And then click on option that whenever it sees an attachment, download that attachment. Okay. And that attachment will be the resume. So you do that and then you click on just you testing it. So you click on fetch event and you see that, okay, this is how it is going to provide an output. So simply copy this attachment underscore 0. It is just the output of Gmail API every time it sees an resume or an attachment in your email. Okay. Click on back to Canva. So now this Gmail is integrated over here. The next step is now it has seen a resume or an attachment in your Gmail. The next step is to extract all the content of that attachment, that is a resume. So click on this plus button and we want to extract that information. So just search extract. And we are going to use extract from PDF. You can do extract from Word, extract from PDF. Mostly resumes are in PDF format, so I've selected PDF. Okay. So operation is extract from PDF. Input binary field. Just paste this attachment underscore 0. If you remember, output of the Gmail API was attachment underscore 0. So this is an input for this particular extract tool. Okay. You click on it.
Here, Aditya, sorry to interrupt, but I'm just asking as we go through the workflow,
Yeah.
right? So you go back and forth. Are we able to add multiple options? Extract from PDF, extract from
Yes.
Word. Resumes can be in either. Okay.
Yes. You can do multiple steps over here. Okay.
Okay.
So you click on it, okay, and then you test out this thing. Now let me send one resume to this particular email ID so that we can see this live working. So I'll probably attach any resume. So I'll attach resume of someone and I'll just simply send it to aditya.sharma@icounselor.com. Resume for data scientist role, PFA, send it. Okay. So I've sent an email to that resume. Sorry, I've sent a resume to that email. Okay. Cool. So we've made this change. Just make sure to add attachment underscore 0 in the input field. Okay. Come back over here. Click on this test workflow. Can you see? So this is working fine. This is working fine. Now, so until now, your bot is checking your Gmail. Every time there is an attachment, it found a resume. So it has extracted all the content of that resume. Now, it need to evaluate that particular resume's content, okay, and give it a score. To evaluate, now here we are going to add an AI agent. So simply search agent here, click on AI agent, and you need to configure it, okay? So source for the prompt. Now, what input it is going to take? So there are two options. Connected chat trigger. We are not doing a chat here. So we'll say we are going to define how it is going to take the input. Now, what will be the input? The input is the resume that we are providing, okay? The text of this resume that we are putting. So we are going to simply put in, where is that option? This text, okay? Text that we are generating, extracting from that file, simply copy, like pick and drop it here. So this will be an input for this particular agent, okay? Now we require a specific type of output. You remember, we need an output in this particular format or any particular format you want. So we are going to define a specific type of output. What that output will be? Okay, if we need a specific type of output, it is saying connect an output parser. Output parser is nothing but it will create content of this entire resume in a specific format. Okay. So we are going to click on back to canvas. And now look, there is an output parser option over here. Okay. But before I add an output parser, I need to add a brain to this AI agent. Okay. Right now it is a brainless and we need to add a brain. What is a brain? It is OpenAI API or like OpenAI ChatGPT that we all say. Click on this chat model. And again, you can use OpenAI, you can use Google Gemini, you can use Facebook Llama, any other LLM model, okay? Simplest is OpenAI. Simply click on this, search for OpenAI chat model. Click on this. And now to configure this, credentials to connect with OpenAI. Okay. I have already integrated my OpenAI account, but if you're doing it for the first time, click on create new credentials and you need to add your OpenAI API key. API key is nothing but a key to connect this workflow with your OpenAI account. Okay. Let me show you how you can find your OpenAI API key. Simply go to Google and search OpenAI API key, and you need to go to platform.openai.com, log into your ChatGPT account, and you will get this option called create new secret key. Can you see here? Simply click on this and it will give you, like, name it anything, and then when you create secret key, it will give you a key, something like this. Simply copy that key, come back here and paste that key over here and click on save. As soon as you click on save, you will get your OpenAI account integrated like this. So when you click on this and just select a model, any model like GPT-4o mini is okay. Okay. So you need to generate your OpenAI key from there, add in here, go back, and see if it is working fine or not. So let's test the workflow again. Click on test workflow. It will check. Boom, it is working, right? So it is connected to my OpenAI account. Now this agent has a brain. Now it can think, it can evaluate just like humans. Okay. Now you remember we needed output in a certain format. So there was an output parser. So we will simply click on this. There are 3 types of output parser attached available here. Simply select the third one. We need in a structured format. So structured output parser. And in layman term, just think it in a manner how you need to see your output. And this is a key and this is the value. So basically this is the column name like this: candidate name, candidate email ID, relevant work experience. Okay. So city, state, cities, this is the column headings and what you want to see in that column headings. Okay. Let me show you how exactly. So I'll simply copy paste what I already created to save time here. So look, you can say, okay, my column heading should be candidate name and it should appear like Aditya Sharma. Candidate email ID, it should appear something like whatever. Just give an example, right? Relevant work experience should be the heading and score out of 2.5. So it should appear like 2, 1, 2. Total score should be 6, the sum of all this. Okay. So you're basically defining the output of this particular entire workflow. Okay. Click on, is this clear to you? Structure output parser, like how we are getting an output in our own format, or this is too tough for you?
No, I think you were very clear.
Okay. You can go through this recording and then you'll see that, okay, and you can literally follow the entire pattern. Okay. Now we'll go back again to check this. We'll simply run the workflow over here to see if everything is working. This is working. This is working. And let's see that everything is working. Can you see tick? That means double click on it and see the output. Look, it is giving the output in exactly the way we want. So the resume that I sent, it's taking the candidate name, candidate email ID, relevant work experience, skills, project, education, everything the way we wanted. Okay. Now, let's go back. And finally, we want this output in a Google Sheet. So click on this, search for a Google Sheet. And every time, what do we want? When we see a new email with a resume attached, we want to append a row. Append is nothing but create a new row and give me the details over there. So click on append a row. So we get a Google Sheet in which we are going to create a new row every time we see a new email over there. So here you can simply select whichever Google account, the Google account that we just created. You remember the entire authentication process. Simply select that Google account and select sheet within that document. Yes, like whatever document you create, and I'll show you one. Operation will be appending a row, document from the list. Now, the document is like sample sheet for anything. So in very simple terms, simply go to the Google Drive of whatever Gmail that you created and simply create a Google Sheet over here. Okay, and when you create that Google Sheet will start appearing over here. Okay, I created this Google Sheet and named it as like sample sheet for N8N tool. And this Google Sheet is appearing over here. And then under this particular Google Sheet, I am creating a new row in this particular tab. So I'm selecting sheet 1. Okay. And now I want to make sure that my output match with every column given over here. It has already pulled in all the columns that I've created. Can you see the column names are already coming up here? And I want to simply copy paste, not copy paste, but I want in column number 1, this particular output, the candidate name. In column number 2, I want email ID. In column number 3, I want skill. No. It's sorry. Column number 3 is work experience. Column number 4 is skill. Column number 5 is relevant project. Column number 6 is education. And column number 7 is total score. Okay. Is this clear how we connected Google Sheet? In simple terms, go to your Google Drive of that Gmail, create sheet, and you'll be able to see that sheet name over here. And then for every column header that you created over here, simply match it with the output from that extract file, simply drag and drop. Okay. And then click on this test tab to see if you're getting the real data here or not. Okay. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I know in short
Yep,
time,
good.
it may be a little bit too much, but go through it again and you'll get it. Okay. Now there is one error that I'm already seeing here. That in my work experience, skills, relevant project, education, it is giving me this all these details. It is not giving me the score. Do you remember? We asked to give us a score and not just the skills.
Yeah.
Okay. Ideally, it should. So we need to check. I think there is some issue with the prompt. We have not given a prompt there until now. I think that's the issue that we made. So let's go back to the AI agent. And what we forgot was actually giving it a prompt. So add an option over here, system message. We never gave it a prompt. So that's why it is just pulling up the skill and it is not giving us a score. So this was the prompt, you remember?
Yes.
We come back. Now we are telling that, hey, don't give us all those skills and education, just give us a score or whatever, however you want to define, okay? And now I'll click on test step and let's see if it works. Can you see now? In the output, it is giving me the score now. Okay?
Yeah.
Then I'll go back to this. And now let's run the entire test flow. Looking at my Gmail, it found a resume, extracted that content, put its brain, created output in a structured manner, put in the Google Sheet. This is our Google Sheet. Can you see this third line over here?
I can see it.
Very
Okay.
cool.
Now let me delete everything just to show you. Now you get up in the morning, okay, and you don't need to go through your Gmail or your email to look at like 50 emails. Simply, you will go to this Google Sheet and it will show you all candidates' name, their email ID, scoring in each category, and out of 10 score for each candidate. This is just an example for one resume that I sent to my email ID. But if you have 100, it will save your entire day and give you the scoring. And that's how we actually did hiring for a data scientist role that we did at iCounselor. And we actually gave an offer. And let me show you, I don't know how many emails I think we received. I posted it on my LinkedIn, actually, that post. And we got, let me show you, view my profile. This is my profile. And I posted that, I think it was just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I saw that post, Aditya.
Yes. So this was the post where I said we are hiring a data scientist. It was 2 weeks ago. I got 2,700 comments, and out of those, almost 1,500 people sent me the resume. And it
Wow.
was impossible to go through them. Right? That's when we built it.
Got it.
Okay. And this is not like a demo version or something. This is something that we actually used it. And we built it, took us like a day. And I'm going to share this entire workflow that you can simply copy paste and integrate your Gmail, integrate your own OpenAI API key, use it every day.
Sounds good.
Was
Thank you,
it?
Aditya. I actually have to run.
Yeah,
But yeah, thanks
absolutely.
so much. This was very helpful. You'll be sending the recording, you said, right?
I'll send you the recording, and I'll also send you the copy of the workflow so that you can simply copy paste and integrate your things. Okay.
Amazing. Good. And I've sent you a note on LinkedIn to connect as well. Would love to be in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sally, for
Thanks so
connecting.
much.
Molly, do you have
Have a-
any questions?
Yes, you mentioned Gmail. Can Outlook be used as well?
Yeah, so Gmail was just one example. You can use Outlook, you can use any other Gmail or any other email client.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, so Molly, did you find this session helpful? Anything that could be improved? Anything, any suggestions for me?
No, I think it was presented very well. I think it's a very technical level for me. I'm not very computer savvy.
No, but you can simply go through the recording, pause it, and
Yep,
just
I
follow
think that
the
will be
steps,
helpful.
and it will be all done. Okay.
All right, thank you so much. You have a good one.
Thank you so much, Molly. You have a wonderful day. I'll follow up on an email. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Yep, bye.